Luna. Congressman, it's good to see you again. Thanks very much for being here this morning. I want to start off with your reaction to this indictment on Donald Trump.
Exactly like Don Jr. had said. I mean, it hasn't even been 24 hours, Maria, since I've seen the document that the FBI has that literally has not one but two separate payments to Joe Biden and his son for over $5 million from a foreign national. And of course, the DOJ just yesterday decides that they're going to be bringing charges against Trump. So I don't think it's by coincidence or mistake, but I can tell you one thing, Maria. I know Speaker McCarthy's fired up about this. I know House Oversight is. And I don't think that the DOJ realizes the beehive that they're poking.
Well, let's talk about that, because, Congressman, you were one of the few lawmakers who actually saw the Biden bribery document yesterday. What can you tell us about it? Does the Oversight Committee do anything about this now? What is your next step? And tell us what this document says.
Yeah, so I actually stayed yesterday. As you know, we were in recess for a little bit, and I actually spoke with Chairman Comer, so subpoenas should be going out next week. But what I can say is absolutely just as we had speculated and had heard, that this goes back to when Joe Biden was the vice president, that, again, there was two separate transactions of $5 million, one to Joe Biden and one to his son, Hunter Biden. It is from Burisma. I can tell you that the source had met multiple times to get this information, that the FBI also in that document had redacted information that talked about an individual who has actual proof, and whether it's emails, text messages, electronic correspondence, to actually get that information. And what I'm hearing, Maria, what I'm seeing is this is absolutely grounds for impeachment. And isn't it ironic that the Biden administration, the corrupt DOJ, and the FBI are accusing President Trump of exactly what Joe Biden is guilty of? And so it's in my opinion that this does change things a little bit, because as we know, right now we're coming up on the 2024 election cycle. But Maria, it's also important to note that they moved around the money the same way that they moved around the money for personal payments to Joe Biden's family. So remember those 20 shell corporations and companies? That's how I believe that they paid Joe Biden.
This is just unbelievable, Congressman. These are the most serious charges ever leveled at a president, and the mainstream media will not report it at all. And so you're saying that on the very day that we see this document, you and your colleagues saw the document, where apparently what I've got here is a Burisma executive said $5 billion to Joe Biden, $5 billion to the other Biden. On the same day, we have confirmation that there was a bribery scheme and Biden was paid off to make policy changes that Trump has indicted.
Correct. And it's even more important to know that, the individual that came forward, I mean, I was speaking with Chairman Comer, this is some very, very scary stuff, right? It is very possible, and I do believe now that we have to kind of be careful about the timelines that we're releasing here, because the individual is still an active source, an active human source, that is. And so we have to make sure that this person doesn't get hurt. And I think that it's very likely with the information that's been brought forward that that could happen. And so it's very likely that this president is going to be impeached, and by that I mean Joe Biden. And rightfully so. I would be saying the same thing for if it was a Republican. If you're guilty of public corruption and selling out your position, you don't deserve to be in office.
So when would you expect that? What is the timing for an impeachment trial?
Well, I think it's really going to depend on how Speaker McCarthy chooses to move forward. But what I can tell you is we have more than enough evidence right now. I know, again, Chairman Comer is going to be sending out more subpoenas next week. And it was incredibly alarming, Maria, because in the actual document, the source is referring to the big guy and the confidential human informant, understood to be Joe Biden. And remember, that was the same term that was used in Hunter Biden's emails on the Hunter Biden laptop to refer to Joe Biden.
So the big guy was mentioned in this document.
Correct. Joe Biden is absolutely laughing because he's nervous. This is not a joke. We have the information, and what he's trying to do is he's trying to keep the leftist media, who doesn't even really like him that much, from actually picking up on this, because as you know, Maria, it was the media that really was responsible for exposing Watergate. And so when we bring forward this information, we're going to work very hard to get the American people and the media this document, because you deserve to see it. It's not classified, but you won't be laughing for too long.
Well, this is just extraordinary, Congresswoman. You are a member of the Oversight Committee. What can you do to actually see justice here? Because we're all watching President Trump now be forced to defend himself. Did Trump do the same exact thing that Joe Biden did with documents, classified documents? And did Trump actually already declassify those documents, making it actually a lesser issue than what Joe Biden did?
Yeah, it's two separate things. As you know, Trump had declassified documents of which he was protected in bringing those documents back with him. And then, of course, we have Joe Biden that apparently had all of these documents in his garage, the same garage that Hunter Biden also happened to inhabitate. So the point is that, yes, it's two standards of justice. But as you had mentioned earlier, the DOJ now bringing these charges on the very same day. The last time I came on your show, I pointed out that the DOJ has also been cooking up charges against whistleblowers who are coming forward bringing information about Joe Biden and his family and public corruption. So I do believe that, one, the speaker is going to have to decide how we are going to proceed forward, when we can start impeachment trials, because what's happening right now is we have more than enough evidence. Jim Jordan, Representative Comer have been working very, very hard on this, and I do believe that that will be something that's going to develop probably the next week or so.
This is incredible. Of course, we're going to be watching you all in the Oversight Committee, led by James Comer, doing an excellent job. We'll be waiting. Luna. All right, we will talk.
A French group like this, honored, awarded, celebrated, there is no equality in mocking women religious, tolerance in hate, no pride in anti-Catholic bigotry. Mocking Christians is not the Dodger way.
Several days later. It turns out that Pride Night for the LA Dodgers, featuring the woke anti-Christian nuns, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, who were uninvited, being re-invited back to Dodger Stadium so that they could be honored amid backlash. Massive Christian backlash against what, again, is a mockery towards the religion, more specifically Catholicism. And you've had MLB players even speak out about the fact that the LA Dodgers were considering honoring these nuns, these woke nuns. I mean, they did. No one showed up, right? But yeah, you had MLB players speak out against this because, again, this is a mockery of religion. Take a look.
Trevor, why did you feel so strongly that you wanted to make that statement?
It had to be said. We cannot stand idly by while our Lord gets mocked. And before I hit send, you try and do as much research as you can, right? You see the horrific videos that were posted of them. You read about what they were trying to do. These things that are deeply offensive to us. And then you see that, well, they're doing these things. They're raising money for this, that, and the other. They've been doing it for over 30 years. But it was the point when the Dodgers re-invited them after knowing very well what they've been doing for the last 30 years.
To give them a community hero award.
Correct. And at that point, I looked at the Dodgers code of conduct. I'm like, look, or the Dodgers fan code of conduct, and it said,
Okay, after what we've put into this one, we don't want it to go wrong. Take the car to the sale, and if another crew comes after it, do everything you can to stop them.
you cannot wear anything or say anything that goes against anybody's age, gender, creed, religion. And at that point, it was like, this is going against their code of conduct. It's a blatant anti-Catholic message that they're sending, regardless of how much, quote-unquote good they've been doing in their community. But when I saw how deeply offensive it was, doing awful things to the cross, doing awful things about Stations of the Cross, like, it became a point where these negatives are not, they shouldn't be honored, and they shouldn't mock a certain group.
Yeah, so you see now, you heard that. A lot of people are just not cool with this, okay? They're taking this too far, okay? We know that the LA Dodgers would never honor a group that mocks the LGBTQ community, because that's big.
Hello, you're through to Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help?
But mocking religion, or Christians more specifically, that's fair game, right? That's just satire. Again, it reminds me of the race conversation.
Your beautiful new aircraft is waiting at our nearest airfield. We hope you're very happy, sir.
Social justice, okay? Again, it's just amazing how this works. Okay, we are truly living in an upside-down world. But like I told you guys, people are pissed, they're upset, they're not taking it, and conservatives, more specifically religious conservatives, are standing up to this nonsense. They're standing up to the fact that they see the writing on the wall when it comes to the attack on freedom of religion in this country. Okay, we've done stories about Muslims standing up, and I think it's time for Christians to stand up. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, that Christians, or Catholics, right, they showed out at this protest, okay, they want to call it a prayer, not a protest, but they showed out at Dodger Stadium to push back against this group of woke nuns being honored. And boy, I'm telling you, they showed out in the thousands. Probably more people at the protest than the stadium. But before we get in there, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel and you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch. For example, my signature racist mug, which is a daily reminder of the 2023 definition of racist according to the left, which is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. It also has my logo on the back. You can grab one of these mugs at my website, cheapwomanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code TEAMBCP. So without further ado, roll the clip.
We begin with the large protest outside Dodger Stadium over the decision to honor a controversial group of Pride Night.
Hundreds of people making their voices heard even before the first pitch. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher live outside Dodger Stadium with more on what has some Catholics so upset. Michelle?
Well, there are a few thousand people here for this demonstration, a protest. One person telling us, though, it is more like a prayer service or a prayer vigil, because they do come with a peaceful message, but they're making their message and their voices heard loud and clear. I'm going to actually step a bit out of the way so you can see what's going on behind me. This is Stadium Way, so a lot of people that are making their way to tonight's Pride events will have to pass this protest on their way to the stadium. They actually, this group, getting ready to march to the stadium right now. Around 5 o'clock, they tell me they'll be walking up the street to the stadium, carrying their signs and voicing their message. We also want to take a look at some Air 7 HD video to give you a look of what it looks like overhead and how large this crowd is overhead, what it looks like as, again, a few thousand protesters, many of them Catholics, are marching in response to the group, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, being included in tonight's Dodgers Pride Night.
So it's important to understand that this is a prayer and not a protest. We're basically praying for the so-called nuns.
This group of a few thousand demonstrators is being vocal tonight about their issues with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and the group's inclusion in Dodgers Pride Night.
We should be tolerant of everybody, likewise they should be tolerant of our faith and our feelings.
Shirts and signs sprinkled in the crowd calling for a boycott of the Dodgers after the team invited the sisters to accept a Community Hero Award as part of tonight's festivities.
Make believe, understand, faith, and hope. Got all y'all fucking stuck on fucking stupid.
House plans to attend tonight's Dodgers game. This after a controversial back and forth that saw the sisters initially invited by team, then uninvited, then finally re-invited amid backlash. Inside the stadium, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts addressing the controversy.
I do think that
Fucking up
we
with
should
everybody.
all be able to coexist. And for me, it just always goes back to loving everyone. And as the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, a baseball team, we welcome anyone that comes through these gates to support our ball club.
This is now this pattern, this mindset that I think exists in way too many of the top people in these federal agencies. Remember, this is the same agency, Department of Homeland Security, who's trying to set up the Disinformation Governance Board. This is the same government where the Richmond field office of the FBI said, if you're a pro-life Catholic, they view you as extremist. I mean, this is how ridiculous it's gotten. And again, it's why under Speaker McCarthy and House Republicans with the majority now, why our work on exposing how these agencies have been turned against the American people, against the very taxpayers they're supposed to serve, why our work is so darn important, and why we have to, again, use the appropriations process to limit how these funds are spent, American tax dollars are spent, and make sure we don't reauthorize funds in its current form.
Guys, I really not know any of this stuff if the Republicans were not in charge. Thank you for your work. We'll be watching. Thank you, Congressman.
Okay, we did it. That one's going on the balance sheet for next quarter.
I'm gonna need you to move out to my landing zone.
Did not happen because of weather anomalies, changes in the governments of 160 different countries, a sudden decrease in the resources of Border Patrol, a sudden decrease in the budget of Homeland Security, or changes to the immigration laws in the United States. The massive millions upon millions of people have crossed our southern border because the Secretary of Homeland Security removed 89 policies from 2 previous administrations. The cause is simple. Migrants tested the system, they called home, and millions came because of the Secretary's catch and release policies. No detention, immediate parole. And the drug cartels seized on the opportunity. They profit from using people who've paid them to overwhelm the Border Patrol, to sneak fentanyl into our country. You can't make an intellectual argument for anything but that. And the effect on our nation has been devastating. 6.2 million encounters between our northern and southern border. 1.5 million gotaways. Criminal aliens released into the United States. Murderers released into the United States. Rapists released into the United States. And the list goes on, and I'm not even talking about the composition of the 1.5 million gotaways who we know nothing about and who intentionally avoided being caught and released into our country. 107,000 dead Americans in 1 year alone to narcotics, fentanyl, etc., pouring across our southern border. Alejandro Mayorkas' policies are the cause of all of this. Unfortunately, it gets worse. Today, the United States Congress, under the leadership of Speaker Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans, myself as chairman of the Committee of Homeland Security, and the members of our committee, begin a 5-phase deep dive into the causes and Secretary Mayorkas' orchestration of this tragedy. We have provided a document that details the topics of the 5 phases and provides a small glimpse into what we will be looking into in phase 1, the dereliction of duty phase. What we know right now is that Secretary Mayorkas has either violated or subverted at least
resist its activities. The blatant disregard for the Constitution of the United States, which states the United States Congress passes the laws and the executive branch executes those laws, is just scratching the surface to the harm Secretary Mayorkas' dereliction of duty has done to our country. Secretary Mayorkas has blatantly lied to the United States Congress under oath on multiple occasions and lied to the American people at least 58 times. Mayorkas' dereliction of duty has placed the safety of Americans second to his own personal agenda, with hundreds of thousands of dead Americans due to the poison he has allowed the cartels to bring into our country, with the deaths of sheriff's deputies executed by criminal aliens, autistic young women raped, children dead after exposure to fentanyl on the floor of a vacation property. Who in America can feel safe with Secretary Mayorkas' policies? This tragedy has impacted the migrants also, with 30+% of women reporting sexual assaults. Almost 2,000 dead migrants at our southern border in just over 2 years. Children lost to a life of forced labor inside the United States of America, and countless others forced into criminal activity to pay their cartel debt. His policies have resulted in a humanitarian crisis this country has never seen. He even admitted his own incompetence, which is also a form of dereliction of duty. By admitting to the United States Senate, he didn't understand the basic strategy of the cartels that he is confronting. He admitted he was unaware of the tracking systems used by the cartels. What general in the United States Army could have such a lack of knowledge of the enemy he is facing and still remain commanding troops?
Right now at Aspen Dental, get new denture.
Shit, Aspen Dental.
He's also failed the men and women we've given him the privilege to lead, lying about their behavior to support a political narrative, pushing them out of the jobs that they signed up for, forcing them to do impossible missions, leading to the highest suicide rate ever amongst CBP. And the most egregious of all, at least to this former soldier, Secretary Mayorkas has put the national security of the United States at risk. Terrorists, suspected terrorists, and enemies of our nation have flooded across our borders. We've previously reported the numbers for the terrorists and the terrorist watch list. But I want to break a little news today. You thought the Chinese spy balloon was bad. This chart here depicts a massive surge in Chinese nationals, many of whom are military-age men, many with known ties to the PLA, ties to the CCP, who have crossed our southern border and just been released by Secretary Mayorkas into the United States. We have no idea who these people are, and it's very likely, using Russia's template of sending military personnel into Ukraine, China is doing the same in the United States.
You can choose to not use plastic. Do your work.
Across 90 miles of ocean
if you believe it,
in Cuba.
then live it there.
That frustrates
And,
the American people.
and if not, then
Just like
tell me what the solution is.
frustrated Americans.
Mr. Sunday, can you
How about
manufacture a car today
Chinese
without plastic?
nationals
If we talk about manufacturing, John brought up manufacturing cars, this is a safe. But the
This
components that go
year,
into the car today, can you do that without plastic?
Yes, Senator, increasingly so with the new pilot mandates here. Increasingly you need to use automotive components that are plastics derived.
So we wouldn't have manufacturing today, modern manufacturing, if we didn't have plastics, correct?
Correct.
Ms. Jackson, do you agree with that statement?
I hope the President of the United States, the
So what's the
Commander-in-Chief,
alternative for
charged with the
manufacturing?
security and
Because
protection of this
the
country
Democrats
will
talk
listen.
about
He can't possibly know
middle-class wages.
of all of these failures.
Middle-class
Mayorkas
wages typically
has
come
not fired.
directly from manufacturing.
Again,
What is it
thank
we're
you for being
manufacturing
here.
that doesn't have plastic in it today?
Followed by the chairman of the border subcommittee.
nothing, and you know what? It would increase the cost of everything if we turn to an alternative, and it would disproportionately impact low-income people who have lower incomes. It would be another regressive tax on the poor.
So, according to your testimony, Ms. Jackson, it sounds like you're saying that the environmental justice agenda does more harm than good for low-income families. Is that correct?
Yes, and you know, I have the unique opportunity to see both sides when the industry comes in the area and when it doesn't. As an auditor, I worked on Nissan North America. Nissan North America moved to Smyrna, Tennessee, where it built the largest automotive manufacturing plant, and the transformation was astonishing. I mean, it went from a community that was poor to a community that U.S. World News voted one of the top 10 places to retire. You had poor people in areas that were poor that became middle class. You had middle class people that became upper middle class, and a lot of upper middle class people that became
there's no such thing as no fucking middle class. That's some motherfucking bullshit.
Housing, affordability. I mean, the amount of prosperity in that area has resonated out 3 counties. 3 counties. I've also had the opportunity to see when an industrial, and that wouldn't happen if you don't have an industrial complex moving into the area where you talk about high economics. I've also seen the other side where all of a sudden you have deteriorating buildings, empty storefronts, dilapidated housing, people standing on street corner housing, that families that are broken. So we need to balance the fact that people's lives need economic upward mobility. And we can't just say, we're going to take out an industry and leave people poorer than they were. Poverty causes the worst health care in this country. Poverty is the one that destroys lives. It destroys health. It creates trauma. So we need to make sure that when we're talking about these issues, we take into account the human loss of life, not just the environmental impact.
Thank you. Thanks for the
So we're going to judiciously and calmly, patiently lay out the case and the details regarding Secretary Mayorkas' dereliction of duty. We take no pleasure in doing so. My colleagues on the committee, under Chairman Green's leadership, we recognize this is a solemn affair. But the American people deserve safety and security. At the very least, American citizens expect our sovereign borders to be secure. And when we face a failure of this level, this easily recognized repeated failure, with the course of over 2 years, the Secretary Mayorkas, we must act. And constitutionally, that action begins in the Department of Homeland Security's records and the Homeland Security Committee's reveal of the failures. We'll clearly point them out over the course of the coming weeks and months, and we believe that America will come to concur with our assessment that Secretary Mayorkas has completely failed his nation and should be removed from office through the congressional process, or preferably by his own will, or perhaps as president.
What you got? What you missing, mister?
But we have to stop.
What happened? What you missing, mister? Man, I wanted to talk to you, man. I said I'm gonna call Mitchell up, because one thing about me and Mitchell, I already enlightened you, because all I did was remind you, right or wrong. See, all I remind you was the truth that's in you already for you to know is how you know if you know who you are 100%. You got to know what the percentage is being the creator within the creation. You see what I'm saying? And me saying that to say this, nigga, you smart enough reading wise because you couldn't do the shit with them computers if you couldn't read, right or wrong? All right. If you can get us a paralegal, somebody that you know that's trying to get into the legal field, all we need to do is talk to them and give them what's really real. And before they pass that bar to become a legal line lawyer, we can get them to do something totally different. Once they pass that bar to become a legal line lawyer, tear that damn certificate up and say, I ain't gonna be a part of y'all bullshit. I'm gonna do this shit with sense to make a change. Because our legal system don't have no senses in it. Our legal system is just a 5-letter word, dog, because they say it on TV all the time. Make believe, understand, faith, and hope, nigga. Because I just tell you like I tell everybody, dog. Do you or do you not have a natural order that you should be living by?
You're right, you should.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why now. When you look at Born a Winner, do you or do you need to know why you already won to not have to race in a race that's already rigged against you to lose? See, because you realize that why am I going to run a race when I own the fucking race and all the motherfuckers in it? See, because we all in this shit together. So once you realize what makes us equal is the creator within the creation. Just like I tell you, I tell anybody. This is a question to ask any of those motherfucking believers. How can the creations give the creator a name?
They could.
Thank you. So, that's when you go to the pastor preacher and ask him, where did you come up with God? And who is God? And see when they say, oh, the creator of all. So why do you call the creator of all God instead of just the creator? Oh, I know I'm right, dog, because I told you, I done did enough wrong in my life to know right now. Did you get that?
No.
Because what I mean by know right now is the truth is, are you promised tomorrow?
No one.
Alrighty then. So if you ain't promised tomorrow, your past and your future is your what? Right now. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Your past and your future is your right now.
You're right.
Come on, dog. And once you realize that, dog, how can you be afraid of dying? Only thing you can be afraid of is somebody killing you. Because you dying is something that you gonna do. Right or wrong?
Right.
You just don't know when. So, knowing that you gonna die is the best part about living, dog. What's the reason why you're alive, nigga? To live, nigga, not to go to work. Everything is ours already, dog. The asshole just realized that they can make up a name and have us controlled by that name, just as well as they made up Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy for the children. They had to make a scary virgin for the grown-ups. God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, and then they added who? The devil. You see what I'm saying?
That fucks up everything right there.
Come on, because I just told you, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy. How many is that?
3.
God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, the devil. How many is that? 4. That's 4. That's 4 now. God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, and the devil. That's 4. You see?
Oh, yeah, all right, I got it.
You see? So like I said again, they had to hit you from all corners because the plus sign is really the cross. Now, let me break that one down for you. When you look at the cross sign, sitting up, it ain't nothing but a T, right? All right, then you put the I, which is you and me. What do you have after that? You got IT. It is all that there is to be in you and me to know better. Raw creativity. You're creating a reality with a whole bunch of other people, dog. They just don't know how the reality is being formed.
All right.
You see?
I got you.
I know you got me, because I told you, we on the same level. That's why they put us in special ed. Because they had already knew that we were special, and they didn't want us rubbing off on the kids in the regular class.
That's right.
Come on, dog. If I would have never went into the light of enlightenment, dog, I couldn't be able to explain what I know, not what I believe in, what I know, not what I understand, what I know, not what I have faith in, what I know, not what I hope for, what I know. Because the truth is, either you know or you don't know. Because the truth is a need to know. Because the only way you can do better is if you know better. And what I told you about knowing better. Knowing better is not being better than no one. Knowing better is knowing what makes us all equal from within. The reason why you was born a winner. Because I already told you. Born a winner, nigga. You got to know why. Right?
Yo.
Now, the reason why you was born a winner, not because of no fucking dude in the sky. You born a winner, nigga, because the creator of all is inside of you. Why you think you was considered the first people, son?
Right.
Did they not say we wasn't equal, son? They said that we ain't had no soul. They said a dog was better than us. So there you go. What is dog spelled backwards?
Damn.
See? And what do dogs do for their master?
Dogs, what dogs serve the master?
They obey. They obey. They obey. Now you see, in God you trust. You ain't trusting in nothing but the government. What's in the middle of the Masons logo? What is that letter?
From the all-seeing eye?
From the all-seeing eye, without the eye, what is that letter that sits in there for the Masons? Put it up. Just say Masons. Just go to your phone and Google Mason. Watch what letter pop up. Or do you want me to let what the name is? Siri or whatever the bitch name? Huh?
Yeah.
A G. Watch. What the name is? Come on, dog. Like I just told you. And see, and the compass was before the eye, in the middle of the pyramid. You got what I'm saying? So, like I said again, when you look at the Master Masons logo, is the G, and what are Masons? They're masters of deception, or they're masters of building. But they're always doing what? Creating something. So like I said again, when you start thinking for yourself, to realizing that you've been lied to about basically everything, because as soon as you start realizing that you was basically lied to about everything, then you realize what you need to do. You need to be thinking for yourself.
Right.
Collectively. Because the truth that's in you is in other people too. It's just that they don't know better. Because they've been taught to be children. They've been taught to have a father in the sky, instead of realizing once you have a child, you are the father and she is the mother of the nations. There's nothing above you after you become the father and she becomes the mother. Because all that truth is in you to teach the what? The children. Not to teach them to lie, because that's exactly what you did when you taught them to believe. Because did you know that I found this out from the creator within the creation too, when I did the research inside of myself to know better. Did you know that believe don't just have 2 words in that bitch? Believe have 3 words in that bitch, and the third word you can't even see. And when you do realize what the third word is, you're gonna realize what to do with believe.
Oh, damn.
Nah, I know you heard that there in the end of when I said the word. See, they got B in the beginning. Instead of BE, you can just use the B. You see? Now, and if you took 2 B's and put them together, you got infinity with a line going through the middle. You see what I'm saying? So when you realize who you are 100%, then you're going to know who they were trying to teach you to be with make-believe. They were trying to make you into being a liar and you didn't even know.
Right in front of your face.
Right there, like I said, didn't it, what they always say, it's being done right in front of you. You just don't see it. Why you don't see it? Because your third eye is closed. What is your third eye, sir? Let's see if you know. It ain't God. So what else could it be then? The creator within the creation, nigga. Cause like I told you, the eye is the pineal gland. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you split your brain in half, do you or do you not have 2 eyes? You know, no believe. So, nigga, you see it for yourself. Split the brain in half. You got both eyes now.
Okay, yeah.
See?
That would mean you have 2.
Like I just said. Now you see the truth that's already ready within you. The creator within the creation. You're never alone. All you gotta do is live the truth that you're living through. Because most people don't know shit. They just going by what the TV say. And the TV is the shit. Literally. The TV tell lies to your vision. The TV program most people to want to tell lies for a living. Because most people that watch that TV want to be a star on that TV and get paid to act like they know when they really don't know shit. All of them just reading off a script.
That's it.
Come on, dog. We ain't living off no script right now, partner. We living out straight life. Because I'm telling you exactly what I know. Now, that's what I believe, understand, have faith, or hope. That's what they taught me to do. Because the truth is the truth, dog. Either you know or you don't know. Or you're asking questions to know. Did they or did they not tell you don't question God?
They told us that.
Come on, dog. Now think about that there for yourself. Think about that for yourself for a change, dog. Think about that there with common sense, because that was the beginning when this wasn't no game, dog. We live life with common senses, nigga. Because I tell you just like I tell anybody else. Isn't fear false evidence appearing real?
That's it.
Now, watch this. Do me this favor. Pinch yourself. Now, I ask you the question. How you know you was pinched? Your senses have to tell you that, right or wrong. Hello. Now you should know that you're never alone. But they taught us to be stupid, dog. We was born a winner, dog. Remember what I told you? People lie, the numbers don't. And you can add it all up for yourself just by that 0-1. Because like I told you before, the 0 is the creator within the creation. You are the motherfucking one that should know it better. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
Because you were born a winner. So how would you not know why? Because I already told you. Why? I don't think I told you though. But why? Isn't Y spelled with 3 letters instead of just 1 Y? Now watch this here. If you put a dot in the middle of that Y, wouldn't that look like, why is this shit so fucked up? Could that be your eye right there? Could that be your fucking head in the middle of the Y? Because you gotta know your why. Because anything that you do, you can't undo it once it's done. So you need to know what you're doing 24/7. Because you're not a child once you reach a certain age, dog. The wisdom within you kicks in for you to know better as an adult. Man, as an adult. Woman, as an adult. Man and woman. Born a winner. Can't get it twisted unless somebody twists you up. And that's what they did. They twisted up like a motherfucking pretzel. They took us from the whole circle and put a knot in the bottom of it. And then made that bitch twice as salty. Man, I needed to go to the hospital because the bitch told me I couldn't get a new bed until I got bed sores again. So I ended up getting a sew, transferring from my bath chair to my wheelchair, because my wheelchair got so fucking old to the motherfucking cushion, the gel cushion that wore out in the damn thing. So now it's so hard on my ass, it's making it so soft. You see? So, and my skin being so soft, once you take a bath, what happens when you take a bath? The shit gets softer. And so when I was transferring, I scratched the skin off my ass, and I was like, nah, I can lay up down and show these bitches this here, and they give me my motherfucking bed that I fucking need. But I couldn't go to that motherfucking hospital, dog, because I'm trying to tell you, bro, that's a dead man walking there, baby.
Hey, but John, you know, you gotta get the sword checked out.
Nigga, you better realize, nigga, the only time I ever had a bed sore, partner, it happened in the hospital. And before I got that bed, them 5 bed sores in the hospital, I got a bed sore sitting on a wheelchair that didn't have no cushion on it when I was going to court. I didn't know about, nigga, I got all kind, I got black sea oil. You see what I'm saying, nigga?
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying, nigga? You see what I'm saying, nigga? And I got this here, nigga. You see what I'm saying, nigga? It's called Neon S'mores. And then I got what they call a liquid Band-Aid. See this here? When you put when you put the liquid Band-Aid on, it become part of your skin. Dog, I know how, but like I said again, I had to get that straight for them to see. But I ain't meant to do that there. It happened to me, but I know why it happened to me, because of the wheelchair and my bed not keeping my, cause see, my bed normally keep my skin tough. Why? Because my bed not only vibrate, it rotate. That's what my mattress used to do before the fucking pump went out on the bitch.
Oh, okay.
You see, and I had that bed there for almost 6 years. So I was supposed to be getting a new bed and a new wheelchair before the coronavirus hit. And when the coronavirus hit, that set back everything. And next thing you know, I started getting them old funky ass doctors that didn't know nothing. And you already know me. I'm not playing with them bitches with my motherfucking body. Bitches, I am not no practice that you're gonna be practicing on. You practice fucking physician. So by me not getting back on their medication and shit, they would give me the runaround with this paperwork that I need to give to the people to get the wheelchair and the bed. You dig? And I'm like, what part y'all don't get? I'm not gonna take no more of y'all shit. I just need y'all to write for my different things. My rubber catheters, my diapers, and all the shit that I need when I go to sleep, so I don't pee on myself in my motherfucking bed. So I say, all that shit, that's all I need y'all to do for me. Nothing else. Them bitches won't let that go, dog. They be laying up there and prolong, and next thing you know, they'll say, well, you got a doctor's appointment, and you come in, the doctor's gonna write that slip up for you. Dog, they been doing that to me, dog. And they still ain't right, because they already know. I'm not visiting to the doctor's office once I get that piece of paper. That's a wrap. Because right now, why should I have to go to a clinic where they got sick people if I'm not sick? So if my doctor can't give me no doctor's motherfucking visit at my motherfucking house, fuck them. Fuck them. Because I know the game. The game is to keep me sick. And to keep me sick is to keep me with medication and me coming back. It's just like a car. You fix one part on that bitch and break another, and you had that motherfucker come back forever. And that's bad. But now I just want to share that with you, because all I need is a legal line lawyer that's ready to tell the truth. That's all I need, a legal line lawyer that's ready to tell the truth, and I can explain to him how he can make all the money that he ever wanted in his entire life. Cause I can explain it to you, and you can see it for yourself. Want me to explain it to you right fast? It's easy. It's real easy. Check it out. You already know the legal system is corrupted, right? So all you need is another legal system next to that bitch that makes sense. Bam, everybody gonna come with you. See, everybody gonna come with you. Why? Because then you get to break down the system that's broken by just doing what? Telling the truth.
But most of them ain't ready for the truth.
That's just it. That's just it though. Common sense overrides the truth. Look, watch this here. Common sense overrides the truth when you got enough people telling the truth. You already know they got anonymous out there. You already know they got anonymous out there. They got a lot of us out there, partner. All we need to do is get a legal system to go along with this one. That's why they don't want to let me. But the lady that we talked to, I called her my mama. She said, "John, do you know?" I said, "Mom, I know. You don't have to tell me." She said, "You did too much bad in that system with that system when that system was bad. Now that you want to do good, you think they don't know your ass?" They feel your vibration coming a mile away. They know that you're gonna put a monkey wrench in their engine and that bitch gonna be done. And that ain't okay to them. And I said, "Yeah, Mom, I got that feeling because the creator lived there and said, you do." And I'm just being honest, dog. You can try and try and try again. Because as long as you're trying, you'll never fail. As long as you know what you're doing. But if they stopping you, all you're doing is trying. But if you get through, you know what to do once you get in there. But the creator let me know, "John, these motherfuckers know you. And they know that when you was down about the dirt, you was as dirty as them in the dirt. Now that you out the dirt and you know you a diamond out the rough and shining, them motherfuckers don't have nothing to do with that diamond. Because you already know. You already know. What is the hardest thing to crush? A diamond." So she said, they ain't letting me, not you. I said, and I don't want nobody with the target on their back because I don't want to see them get hit. I'd rather have that target on my back because I know this shit. And all I need is one of the legal line lawyers to explain it to, even though they already know. That's why they get paid to lie. They legal line lawyers. They get paid to do what they do. Because the trip part about that system right there. Legal line lawyers never work for me and you. Legal line lawyers always work for the judge and then they become judges too. Why do you think them dudes hate the fuck out of Donald Trump? The Democrat rats and the Republican clowns. They hate Donald Trump because both parties consist of legal line lawyers. Donald Trump is a businessman. The United States of America is a corporation. It's a business, baby. But them sons of bitches run this bitch like their own fucking personal piggy bank. Because I told you, dog, the questions that we gonna ask gonna be the truth. And if they don't have no answers to the questions, we know what to do. We hold them accountable. Because the first question will be, how in the fuck is my grandkids being born into debts? And the fuckers that I paid my tax money to run shit, children gonna be born into wealth, but I'ma still owe China $32 trillion. Where did the money go? Isn't that a question to ask, dog? Come on, dog. Come on, dog. That's the only way you can ask that question is you're what? A legal line lawyer. You see? And there's a lot of questions that we can ask. Like, for instance, we need y'all to audit the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the DAA, all the fucking alphabet soup motherfucking organizations that them bitches made up so they can get the kickback off of the bitches. Cause you see the game now, nigga. This shit is worse than motherfucking selling drugs, dog. What they doing to us? Cause them bitches make up different agencies and then get a kickback for making that agency because that agency they made up is for their fucking friends. Do you actually think they got friends like me and you? All they friends rich.
Yeah, they rich.
Think about it. Think about it. Why they friends ain't being born into debt like me and you? They just being born into debt for living here. That's it. Because their bank account don't say that. So like I said again, until we realize who's playing who, this gang gonna stay fucking us. Because we're gonna keep on losing. And I'm like, that's crazy. Why I say that's crazy? How can you lose a game that you already won because you own the game and all the players? But let me tell you how fucked up this game is with us. I would say that we playing as fans in the stands. But nigga, it's worse than that. Guess where we at, dog? We outside playing as tailgaters. And I ain't say we were tailgaters, nigga. I said we outside playing as tailgaters, bruh. When we was born to always win. Cause we was put in first place. We got too smart for our own good and we start creating bad. Then we create them motherfuckers to be servitude to our ass. And whenever you create anything to be servitude to you, if it got any type of intelligence, it's gonna want to beat you and replace you. And there you go. That's where we at right now. We're on the urge of being replaced. Because after the coronavirus shot, why you think they got all these illegal aliens coming in this bitch, invading this bitch? They got all these illegal aliens coming in this bitch, invading this bitch, simply because of the fact that in the next 2 to 3 years, nigga, motherfucker gonna be dropping off like flies and getting sick like a motherfucker. You're gonna need somebody to have to take care of your ass. The plot and plan has already been planned and plotted on, and they doing their thing. It's just that we the one that's sitting here dumb as fucking chickens, getting ready to get their head chopped off. But I ain't gonna hold you up, old Lawrence. That's all I say. It's so much that we can do if we had the resource to do it with, and it's so much we can do if we had somebody that can tell some real shit to, and they can do some shit. But we ain't got none of that. Because any leader that try to go up there and lead, them fuckers get scared and don't want to lead because they're scared that somebody can kill their ass. But the truth is, that's gonna happen anyway. You might as well go out with a bang. That's how I see it. So I know I'm gonna go out telling the motherfucking truth. Sitting down, or if I'm standing up. And that's the other thing too. Nigga, I can get physical training, nigga, and start walking again, bro. You see, cause you see how my body's shaking and shit, cause my legs trying to do shit, but I'm an incomplete paraplegic with 2 titanium rods in my back. Only thing wrong with me is my spinal cord is swollen from the shock of that impact. And to heal the spinal cord is for the spinal cord to not really move. But it got so many moving functions. When you move your eyeballs, your spinal cord moves. So it is what it is. So I'll hop back at you, old homeboy. But Lawrence, phone be tripping. But yeah, people.